All right, all right, all right. Today, here on the Vendor's Edge podcast, we're going to be talking about having your best year yet, going over 12 ways that farmers market vendors can grow and thrive in the new year. And this also applies to craft show vendors and festival goers or festival vendors. But we're wrapping up the year. We got the new year fast approaching. I know for a lot of vendors across the country, it's winter time. It's kind of the down time from markets. A lot of markets in the central and northern parts of the country are starting in the spring once it starts warming up a little bit. Down here in the south, we got markets that are going year round. But regardless, the new year's really a great time to kind of reflect on the year that was, look at a lot of your successes from that season, look at some of your rough spots from that season, and then formulate a plan and a path forward to make this new year an amazing year for you at your local markets, to set yourself up for success the best way possible and just really exceed all of your expectation and goals that you set for your business going forward. But I'm Bill Davenport with Anchored Market Ventures. We're your number one source for vendor knowledge and empowerment. We run local farmers markets here in the Florida Panhandle. We produce educational videos and material for vendors. We want to see every vendor succeed at their local market. And we throw a lot of information out there. Some of it's applicable to some of it's applicable to everybody, but we hope that whatever uh, video or piece of information we put out, we hope it helps you and gets you going in the right direction at your local market. But jumping right into it, these 12 topics we're going to be talking about. The first one is setting your business up as a business so that you can realize the business benefits and the tax breaks that come with being a business. A lot of vendors at a market, I start as a hobbyist. They have a hobby. I may want to get this into grow it into a business, but the sooner you make that transition from a hobby to a business, the better off you're going to be. There are a lot of advantages to setting up as a business. One, as a hobbyist, you're eating the expenses to do what you do, whether that's the material to make the products that you make, the the fertilizer, the seeds, the equipment, everything that's involved with your hobby. For the most part, if you set up as a business, are tax write-offs, they're tax breaks. So now your hobby becomes your business, and as a business, you're able to reap some rewards from that. A lot of folks, I think, are fearful of it's a business, but there's really no need to be. Just like anything in life, you should be cautious. You should think through your decisions that you make, but setting your hobby up as a business and becoming a business is a good thing. You're able to legitimize your business. You can register it as an LLC, a sole proprietor, an S corp. There's a lot of different ways you can set your business entity up, and you do that to separate your personal and your business finances and accounts. Now, I can't tell you which one of those is best for you, that's something you're going to have to do some research for to find out which way is the most appropriate. Sometimes this is something that you may not want to listen to your friends on. Friends have a lot of opinions. A lot of your friends are not business owners. It's something they heard on Oprah or their favorite news station or whoever. This is something that you should do your own due diligence on and figure out what's right for you, because what's good for the goose is not good for the gander when it comes to business. Each business is unique, has its own unique needs, goals, direction, and all of that comes into account when it comes to setting up your business. So this is a part where you do want to do your own due diligence. Maybe talk to some other folks that are in business. I would not necessarily talk to folks that don't do business about your business or how you need to set up and structure your business, but setting it up legitimizes it and it helps separate your cash flows. There's a lot of tax benefits to it too. Your tax deductions for your expenses, like your material, your booth fees, travel to and from your markets, all the materials that are involved with it, equipment to harvest or make what you sell. Your marketing and advertising expenses are a tax write-off. You can do home office spaces. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. You can do write off mileage. Um, there's a whole bunch of stuff. This is something also that you really want to look at the tax side of it, or find a tax accountant in your area that's highly recommended. They're honestly inexpensive. And because they're doing the taxes for your business, guess what? That's also a write off. So it makes a lot of sense to transition your hobby to a business. When you're set up as a business, you can open up a business banking account that helps keep your finances separated so you can truly track what your expenses are. Um, you can also use accounting software. I'll tell you, we use Wave Accounting. I'll put a link down in the description to Wave. It's free. Now there are some different parts of it that cost a little bit of money, but the accounting and tracking software itself, the base of it is free, and it's great for small business or businesses that are just starting out to help keep track of your expenses, where your money's going. But setting up a business and separating your finances and having a way to account for it um, makes you more efficient. You can get your proper licensing and permits as a business. You can get set up so that you're properly accounting for your sales tax, get your different permits, like health permits, um, nursery permits, whatever the permits that are required. It's less of a hurdle to acquire them when you're set up as a business. And then insurance. Vendors need insurance. It helps protect you on the business side, but it also helps protect your personal assets when you have your personal and your business separated. So in the new year, if you're not set up as a business and you're not operating as a business, you should be. I understand a lot of us start as a hobby, but when you're selling your business and you need to set up as one, you need to operate as one and keep your finances separated, like your business finances from your personal finances. It's protection for you. So that's our first topic that we're going over, or that you should really look at to help improve for the new year. The second one is branding and marketing. Branding and marketing is huge for the new year. Really go in deep, go in hard on the branding and marketing. It's like any new habit. It's awkward at first when we do it. We feel uncomfortable. Sometimes we feel like we just jumped into the deep end of the pool. But as you do it, that 14-day rule, you do it for 14 days, it starts becoming a habit. It starts becoming easy. You start learning, you start seeing the analytics that are available to you for your marketing and branding. But really get on social media, develop consistent posting, develop a consistent schedule to post. Um, Take this year to really start engaging with the customers and the people that leave comments and feedback on your social media. It's a good time to maybe refresh your branding. If you've been thinking about updating your logo, updating your packaging, creating promotional materials, but it's really a great time to take a deep dive into your brand, make sure it's got a cohesive look, a cohesive feel, tie that in with your social media, do some marketing on there, really do some branding, start posting reels and stories, that behind the scene content, it goes into that storytelling, but really jump in deep into the deep end of the pool on that. Hit it running in this upcoming year. And then I would encourage you to start this year doing some email marketing. Start collecting those emails from folks that come to your booth. Get a clipboard with paper so that folks can leave their email address so you can go back and put it into an email client campaign manager like MailChimp or Moosein. There's a whole bunch of them. You can Google and find out email marketing, which provider, some cost money, some are free. The ones that cost money or a little bit of money um, give you more options. Sometimes they're a little bit easier to use. Again, if you're set up as a business, that's a tax deductible. You get a tax break. You can write that off. Um, but look at building an email list. It keeps your customers informed about your upcoming events, upcoming products that you're going to be releasing, maybe special offers that you're doing. But email marketing is a great way to really grow customers and potential customers into loyal customers and customers that go all in on supporting you. I'll tell you, when it comes to email marketing, there's some great vendors that do it. One that pops to the top of my head at our Panama City Farmers Market and Sweet Bay Market is Pareca Farms. Uh, you look at their booth when you go up there, they have their sign up sheet, and every market people are signing up because they want to stay connected to them. They learn about what meats are available. um, People can respond back to it and do pre-orders so that they can bring it to the market, and they already have it set so they know there's a set profit that's going to be made at that market because of their pre-orders. They know timelines, they know where they're going to be at. So that email marketing is a great tool. Really get that set up now at the end of the year so that once the new year comes, you're hitting on all cylinders with your branding and marketing. And then that leads us into professional development. Um, Use this new year to start working on professional development, learn some new techniques, maybe learn some new recipes that you can do with your produce that you produce and grow. Um, Learn new crafts if you're an artist and crafter so that you can expand your expertise, but work on skill training. YouTube is an amazing platform for learning new skills. You can go out on Instagram, on uh, Facebook, on Pinterest. TikTok's hot right now. any one of the social media platforms, you can get some great ideas um, for skills to learn. I think YouTube's probably one of the better platforms for breaking a skill down and really going in depth in it because they're not short little videos like they normally are on some of the other platforms. But increase your skills, increase your learning, increase your training. That should be something you really want to key on in the coming year. That's really going to help you be successful going forward, not only this coming year, but for years to come, because knowledge normally opens doors to more knowledge and it's just a pathway of growing. Look at attending workshops. There's a lot of workshops normally. You may have to travel an hour or two. Again, you're set up as a business. Travel is a tax deductible thing. Your hotel stay, the event fee cost, your gas to and from there, your mileage or your plane ticket. But look at workshops that focus on the type of stuff you sell, maybe just sales in general if you want to learn to become a better salesperson. There's marketing workshops, there's product development. I'll tell you, for us here at Anchored Market Ventures in March, we're going to be going to a farmers market conference. This will be our second year attending, but it's an amazing avenue for us to learn about all things farmers markets so that we can produce and host a farmers market that's best for our vendors. We learn a lot of in-depth marketing there, things to help boost our vendors up. We learn how to communicate better with city officials, a little bit on the permitting process. So it's a great way to do that. And then we're going to be turning around in April. And here in Florida, there is a organic farming and ag conference, which again, we're going to be going to because we want to share that knowledge with our farmers and vendors that are at our markets, and we're going to be sharing it out to as many people as we can here via Facebook and YouTube and on the podcast. So we're practicing what we preach. It's all about that skill training and those workshops, and then get some training on some tech, whether that's how to familiarize yourself with a camera, so that you can do some videos to help make those reels, or maybe even start your own YouTube channel so that your customers can learn a little bit more about you and your product and your processes. Um, whether that's an accounting program so that you can do better financials, inventory management so that you can keep better track of your inventory, um, email client marketing clients so that you can better engage your customers with emails. But look at professional development in this coming year. Professional development will really pay dividends for you on being successful and growing at your markets. I want to take just a minute while we're talking about professional development. We have our book, uh, Farmers Market Success, a comprehensive guide for vendors. I wrote this to be a resource guide for vendors, whether you do farmers markets, craft shows, or festivals. But it's 187 pages from A to Z when it comes to being a vendor. Gives you some great insight, stirs the mind on getting you thinking about some things that you might not have thought about, but perfect for a new vendor starting out or an old veteran vendor. But you can get this on Amazon, and here pretty soon you'll be able to get it on our website, anchoredmarketventures.com. But it's a great way to support us, and it's a great way to get some knowledge to help you grow and be successful as a vendor. And then that jumps us right into booth presentation. Really work this year on your booth presentation. Subconsciously, when customers come by your booth, how your booth set up can be the difference between a customer coming in and potentially buying or a customer just keep on walking by until they get to the next vendor. Look at updating your displays. You want to make sure that they're eye catching, cohesive, that your booth is functional, that it's not cluttered. There's a difference, a fine line between being a fully stocked booth and just being cluttered. If it's perceived as being cluttered, you're not going to get the attention that you deserve and that you should get just because it's cluttered. So make sure it's functional and make sure that your booth reflects your brand. You want to make sure the colors match your brand. You want to make sure the marketing matches your brand. Everything about it should be a cohesive unit in your booth. You want to make sure that you have some stands. You do not want everything just laying flat. Get you stands. They don't have to be elaborate, but get a little bit of depth. The closer you can get stuff to people's eye level, the better off you're going to be. If it's high, it flies off the shelf. So get some elevation, get some depth, get a little bit of texture, have some colors that match your brand in your booth, but work on updating your booth displays in the coming year. With that is your signage, whether that's your banner in the back of your tent that has your logo, your company name. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Simple is normally better. You want to stay away from really crazy fonts that are hard to read, but look at updating your signage, make sure it looks professional, it's easy to read, and that it's aligned with your brand. And then look at some lighting for the upcoming year. Not every day is sunny, not every spot is in the sun and well lit. So a little bit of lighting, you can get some cheap lights from one of your local box stores. For us, with the markets, we use Harbor Freight. They tend to have great lights that are rechargeable, battery operated, that are fairly inexpensive. And in our opinion, they've been pretty durable over the last 3 or 4 years and held up really well. I think out of maybe 25 lights that we use, we've had three that haven't held up during that time, but the rest are doing great. But you can use those lights um, to help highlight products in your booth, help you stand out in the crowd, but work on that booth presentation. The booth presentation is going to be a huge payoff for you going into the new year. And then with your booth presentation, that leads us right into product offerings. Look at possibly diversifying your inventory. That doesn't mean try to bring everything under the sun that you potentially can, but you can widen your horizon when it comes to your offering. Include some unique or seasonal items. If you're a farmer growing produce, maybe look at adding one, two, or three items that traditionally isn't offered in your area, but you can grow. That's a great attractant for people to come and try out something new and unique that maybe they can only get in a specialty store, but it's easy for you to grow. So look at offering unique seasonable items, or as you're branding and marketing, you're getting feedback from your customer base. Maybe offer something that appeals to your target audience. And how you find that out is through active listening and asking questions, through that conversation that you have with customers when they come into their booth. But look at diversifying your inventory. Look at bundle options for the new year, bundling gift sets, or uh, if you buy these, you get two of these, or um, there's different ways that you can bundle. If you buy a jar of honey, you get a bar of soap, or we have a great deal on 2 bottles of honey and 2 bars of soap for, together they normally sell for $25. But if you buy, or if you buy them individually, it's 25 bucks total for them. But if you buy them as a bundle, you get it for $18. whatever it is, look at bundling some of your products because customers a lot of times may think, that's a little high for me. Even though your product pricing is perfect, sometimes that intrigues them to make that buy when they see a bundled product, or a product bundled with something else. So look at bundling options. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Bundling really works well around holidays. So you got Valentine's Day coming up right around the corner, Easter, and then, right after that, we got Mother's Day, Father's Day, and it just leads throughout the year. So look at holidays are great times for bundling options, but you can do them anytime throughout the year. But really consider that with your product offerings. And then look at doing either samples or demos of your product. It's a great way to generate interest and keep customers attentive to your products in your booth. And that can be the difference between that customer walking away or that customer making a sale. So take some time to look at your product offering and some things that you can do to make that offering a little bit more enticing to customers that come to your booth. And then our sixth item to look at for the new year is networking and community engagement. Collaborate. We've talked about this before. Collaboration is a powerful tool for you as a vendor. You can partner with other vendors for cross promotions. You guys can co host giveaways, but there's a lot of different ways that you can collaborate. Really, the sky is your limit when it comes to collaborations. You can look at supporting local. So you can highlight how your business supports the community or how your business uses local products. It's a great way to support local, whether you're a food vendor and you get X amount of products locally or from another local vendor. But showing and highlighting how you support local is a great thing that really there's a percentage of customers that come to a market that really speaks to, and they love to support that. And then look at event participation as part of that community engagement. If you're only doing one market a week, look at joining a second market. If you do two markets a week, look at seeing how you can expand to maybe do a third. But look at joining an additional market or festival or show, because what that does is help you reach new audiences. So in the upcoming year, look at your networking and your community engagement. Our seventh item to help get you going, growing, and thriving in the new year is the customer experience. If the customer isn't having a good experience, the vendor's not having a good experience. It is definitely a cause and effect relationship between customers and vendors. Work on how you greet visitors. You want that greeting to be warm, you want it to be friendly. Once you get that initial greeting done, you want to work on how to share your story. You want to create a meaningful connection with customers. It's that old adage, you got 3 to 7 seconds right off the get-go to make that connection. And you make that connection by being warm and inviting. I know sometimes we wake up on the wrong side of the bed. We just ain't feeling it. That's not an excuse. It really isn't. When we are out there trying to make a sale, we're trying to make a living, we're trying to support our small business. That's an excuse we can't have. So you got to get your head into the right frame of mind, whether that's doing some jumping jacks. There's always that one vendor at the market that's always upbeat. Go around them because that stuff is contagious. You can't be angry and grumpy for forever if you're around that really happy person all the time. But Maybe you got to do some jumping jacks or some push-ups, whatever it is. Um, you need to get back on track to get that warm, friendly demeanor back so that you can greet customers effectively. You want to work on your engagement with customers. And then that customer experience is figure out a way to implement a way to gather feedback from customers, whether that's create a survey, maybe do some suggestion cards, ask them to email you or leave you a comment. There's a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but figure out a way to create a feedback system so that you can better understand your customers, you can better serve them, create a better product for them, and at the end of the day, create a better experience for them. Because once that is a good experience for that customer, they're going to keep supporting you. So work on that going forward into the new year. It's going to help you and it's going to pay off in the end. And then that leads us right into our eighth um thing to really key on in the new upcoming year, and that's working on your pricing and profitability. Pricing and profitability is probably a really misunderstood piece for vendors at farmers markets. Sometimes we feel like our products are overpriced. Sometimes we feel like our products are overpriced. It's There's a little bit of that Kentucky wag in it where you're doing some guessing, but really you wanna evaluate your pricing. You wanna review and adjust your prices. You wanna do that based on your material cost, look at what your competitors are pricing and stuff, what you expect that item to cost, the cost of your labor. There's a lot of costs, any of the costs that are a part of your product, you need to look at that and calculate and figure out a good price point. It's okay to be the most expensive priced item out there if you're creating a quality product. Sometimes when we price our stuff, it feels uncomfortable, but realize people come to a farmer's market to buy a quality product item. And a quality product item comes with a quality price tag. Don't undersell yourself, but make sure you're evaluating your pricing product so that it reflects the true cost that it costs to make, manufacture, or grow the item that you're selling. And look at ways to upsell your upselling strategy. You want to work this coming year to train yourself to suggest complementary items or premium versions of your products to customers. So a customer may come in and say, I really like these pork chops. Don't be afraid to suggest some other items too. Man, these pork chops are amazing. You are gonna love them. That's a good choice. But let me tell you, grab them pork chops. But if you love pork chops, you're also gonna love this sauce breakfast sausage we have. Figure out a way to upsell. Upselling is not a bad thing. Upselling to sell complementary items. If you like this cream, you're also going to like this lotion. If you like this candle really goes good with this particular smelling candle that you're looking to buy. Work on your upselling strategies in this coming year, and you're going to see growth and you're going to see better profits. And then pay attention to your cost management. Analyze your expenses. You should always be analyzing your expenses. You want to seek ways to streamline your processes and look at negotiating or finding better deals on your supplies and materials that you use. Just because we get comfortable getting our stuff from one particular place doesn't mean that we can't look and get products from another place either. The name of the game is lowering your costs so that your margins are good. And the margins is where you make your money at. So don't think that, well, this was the easiest place for me to get something that I can't look for somewhere else that may be a little bit harder or I may have to wait a little bit longer. Use this place to get your initial material up and going, and then put your long-term orders in with this cheaper place that by the time I get done with this initial order, they're coming in. So look at your expenses, analyze them, and seek ways to streamline them and keep your costs down. That'll help with your pricing and it'll help increase your profitability in this coming year. And then that leads us into the ninth item, sustainability. What do we mean by sustainability? You want to look at eco-friendly practices. One of the great appeals of farmers markets is that eco-friendly practices. That is an area that we all can improve on. If you are offering, I don't have one right here, but like say those plastic bags that everybody gets at Walmart or any of the big box stores, those things take a million years. I don't know how long. I'm just saying a million years, but they take a long time to break down. They clutter landfills. They're garbage all up and down the road when the wind blows. They go everywhere. They're not environmentally friendly. So, but it's easy for us to go get a box of those to be able to put product in and hand out. Look at using biodegradable packaging or bags. And better yet, look at maybe using paper bags or reusable bags. A lot of customers, if you give them a reusable bag, they'll reuse that every market that they come to. And it just eliminates trash. If you're an eco friendly vendor, then that aligns with your brand. But at the end of the day, that's stuff customers want to support. So look at and evaluate your eco friendly practices, how you can improve on them, maybe make it a little bit better. That doesn't mean you have to go boop, all the way over to 100% eco-friendly practices, but you can work on improving this area or that, and that really does make a difference for you with customers at your market. Look at reducing waste. Look at ways to minimize unsold inventory or repurpose leftover materials. I'll tell you for inventory, you can look at uh, a lot of farms. If you have leftover baked goods that don't sell, you can give it to them. The hogs will eat it, chickens will eat it. Um, you can give that leftover inventory to a local shelter, a lot of churches or missions in your area. That's a great way to donate, which helps your community. But look at ways at reducing waste when it comes to if you're an arts and crafters. Is there a way that you can make maybe an additional product out of this? If you're a quilter or a crochet person and you have all the end balls of your yarn, you can look at making some ugly yarn products because people love that stuff. So look at ways to reduce your waste so that you're not throwing away as much stuff. And that's stuff that you can promote and market to. Hey, we minimize waste by donating to the local missions. We donate or we reutilize all our waste ends to create this product. But look at ways to reduce your waste in the upcoming year. And then with sustainability is also your messaging. Promote your sustainable practices as part of your brand and part of your story. Every chance that you get to tell your story is a chance that you get to market and is a chance that you get to brand. Branding, marketing, and telling your story is important. You should be looking at ways to do that all the time. It's something that all of us, including myself, can constantly improve on. It's not something we do once and we're done. We do it every opportunity that we can because that's the things that our customers connect with. And then that leads us right into technology integration. The 10th item, we are in a technological era. We are no longer analog. We are digital. As much as some folks yearn for the days of analog, them days are gone. That ship sailed. We are in a technologically advanced and growing world, and we need to not necessarily embrace it, but we need to learn it and utilize it to our advantage as vendors and as a business at the markets. A lot of folks say, I only deal in cash. You're losing 35% of the sales you could be making at a minimum by only accepting cash. There's a lot of folks that only buy with their card, whether it be a credit card, their debit card, uh, gift card, Visa card that has money put on it. Look at your payment options when it comes to being a vendor in this new year. If you are a vendor that's only accepted cash, look at accepting cards or accepting PayPal, accepting Venmo, whatever the app, the different payment options are out there. Look at maybe expanding one or two options to your cash policy, because you're going to start realizing part of that 35% of customers that only pay with means other than cash. And a lot of those sales could be big sales. So look at maybe Square, Clover, one of the other programs that are out there for accepting cards. Look at PayPal, look at Venmo, but look at your payment options going forward in the new year. Look at online sales. Creating a website nowadays is inexpensive. It's fairly easy. There's a lot of programs that it's plug and play for you to create a website. You just use a template, change your names, change your options, but you can make sales online. You can sell and ship to people. You can make the sales and deliver it to people at the farmer's market or at the event that you're doing. But look to launch and optimize your e-commerce in the coming year. It's a great way to supplement sales other than your in-person at the market sales that you normally capture. And then look at event tools for for this coming year, whether that's something that tracks your sales. Again, we use Wave. We'll link it in the description. And by the way, we do not get any sponsorship or fees from Waves. It has been a tremendous program. But if you're Wave and you happen to hear this, we'll take a sponsorship from y'all. But, you know, figure out a program, look at programs that track your sales, track your financials, management. Um, for a business, we use Mile IQ, which helps track our mileage so that we can get the mileage reimbursement and deduction for our taxes each year. There's a lot of different tools that are great for a business, but look at one or two of them and see how they apply to you and your business and your products, and start using them. Because a lot of times once you start recording matrix, you start seeing things that you didn't see when we try to rely on this thing up here, because we got so much information coming in. It's hard to remember everything. And at the end of the day, it just kind of gets muddled in all of that information. But if we have some way to record that information and we can look back and see it and analyze it, it'll show a way different picture than what we're thinking. So look at some of the apps and tools, web tools that are available to help your business. And then this is a really important one for the upcoming year that all of us should be looking at, and that's our health, whether it's our physical health or our mental health. Take this year and really take care of the machine that makes it all happen, and that's us. Our bodies, you get we got to stay hydrated at the markets. We got to eat some nutritious meals, get some regular exercise. All of that helps us avoid burnout. Take some breaks when you can. Now, this isn't saying you got to go pick a diet or do this workout routine. You can, exercise a little bit of walking, take a walk around the block. It's just a way of unplugging and just, de-stressing, getting rid of some of that stress in our bodies. But take care of this machine that we have, because the more we beat it up and the more we neglect it, the harder it is to maintain it. And that affects us as vendors at a market. And then our mental health. Mental health is important. So you want to manage that stress, maybe a little bit of meditation, journaling, figuring out a little bit of balance on some of your tasks that you're doing. Um, but you really want to take some time to just kind of decompress from everything, because being a vendor and having a business can at times be stressful. Life in general can be stressful. Having kids, being married, work life away from the vendor business, all of that can be stressful at some point and can cause us some angst. But take care of the body, the physical attributes that we have, take care of the mind, that's important. Make sure you're getting a lot of sleep. I'll tell you, that's something that I need to work on. From my time in the military, I feel like my sleep is just destroyed. I go through periods of like little to no sleep to times where I just want to cocoon and not get out of bed. But try to prioritize some time so that you're getting adequate sleep. That helps you stay organized, it helps you stay energized and focused. So sleep is important. And then we need to rely on each other and that community support. So reach out to fellow vendors. All of us have some friends that we make, or I hope we have friends that we make at the market. A lot of markets have groups, like vendor groups. You can use that. For us, Anchored Market Ventures, we have a vendor group for our vendors that are active in our markets. Use those groups online, use your friends at the markets, but lean on them, because there's a shared experience there that helps reduce that feeling of isolation. And it just gives you something to lean on, people to lean on, to let you know that you're not alone. So rely on that community support in this coming year. And then our 12th item for you to really go after in this coming year to grow and thrive is goal setting. Goals are important. The goals are important in the sense of short-term goals and your long-term goals. But you want to set targets for you to achieve. You want to make sure those goals, those targets are well defined, that they're clear. You want to set goals for revenue, um, set goals for events for you to participate in, and then set goals for how many new customers that you acquire in the coming year. Those are great benchmarks to shoot for um, when it comes to setting goals. Another goal that you want for this upcoming year is tracking your progress. You want to do regular reviews of your performance. You want to make adjustments and tweaks throughout the year. You can do those weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi annually, but you want to be able to track your progress and be able to make adjustments so that you're staying on track for the goals that you set. And celebrate wins. Celebrate the little wins as well as the big wins. A victory is a victory, and all of us have victories at the market. So acknowledge milestones that you've set for yourself, whether they're small or big. That helps keep us motivated and it helps keep us going in the right direction as a vendor at our local markets. So those are the 12 topics that, as vendors, are going to help set your year to be the best year that you've had yet. It's going to help get you going in the right direction to thrive and be successful at your markets. But really, pick two, three of these. You don't have to jump on all 12 of them all at once. I'll tell you, sometimes all 12 of them can be, if you do them all at once, can be a little overwhelming. But if you start one or two at a time, a month or two later, start working on another one or two, it's going to help make this coming year your best year yet. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you thrive. And at the end of the day, it's just going to make you better and more successful at your local markets. So I'm Bill Davenport with Anchored Market Ventures, and I can't wait to see you guys out at the next market.